This video is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Now, I've been using the Galaxy S23 Ultra for about 6 months now, and I think that that's a good amount of time to really gather my true thoughts about it. And in those many months, I've gone to the gym consistently, got to travel across the country, and had a ton of hours using the Galaxy S23 Ultra as my main device. I've done everything from use it as my main GPS, scrolled on social media for a ton of hours, took great pictures, talked to family and friends, and even used it as a tool for getting my work done. And after all of this time of experience and relying on my Galaxy S23 Ultra, I think that for me, it's safe to say that this is the best phone that I've used in years. And the reason I feel confident in saying this is because the S23 Ultra has been the best at one key factor, and that's reliability. See, I never really had to question whether or not it will be able to last me all day if I wasn't near a charger. I never got really nervous whenever I dropped it because I have great faith in its build quality, and I was never worried if it would freeze or lag on me at the time when I needed it most. And even though I'm one of those people who isn't afraid to give the S23 Ultra its praise, I'm also one of those people that isn't afraid to show its flaws as well. And that's the first thing that I wanted to address so that you guys know what you're getting into when you decide if the Galaxy S23 Ultra is actually worth the price. And speaking of pricing, it's already enough that phones have been getting increasingly expensive over the past 5 years. And the last thing that I needed was an $85 phone plan to top it all off. Now, if this is you and you ever thought, why the is my phone bill so high? Then let me tell you about Mint Mobile, who I'm partnering with in today's video. Now, phones and phone plans aren't the only things that have been affected by the skyrocketing inflation. The average American citizen is paying more for housing, food, and everyday essentials that allow us to go through our day. But by switching to Mint Mobile, that's one less bill eating up your hard-earned money. With Mint, you'll be paying $15 a month and you won't have to sacrifice speed, coverage, or data since they're built on the nation's largest 5G network. And the best part is that you don't have to go into a store to set up your plan. Everything is online, which makes it much more convenient for you and also convenient for Mint Mobile since they can keep those prices low. They cut out retail stores and salespeople, which basically results in prices not being hit with inflation. Now, getting more into the value that you get with Mint, as someone who previously was with a major carrier, I was getting the exact same speeds and coverage despite the fact that I was paying more. And to give you an example of Mint Mobile speeds, right here you can see that I'm able to load up and watch a 4K YouTube video with no problem. Online gaming gave me 0 lags with no connectivity issues, and simple Google searches are extremely fast and similar to other top tier providers. Switching to Mint is also super easy. Thanks to their digital eSIMs, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. And in total, it'll take you 15 minutes or less to complete this process. No more standing around waiting in line at a big wireless store. You can keep your current device and phone number and easily switch services. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card free of charge. And getting back to how easy switching to Mint is, I own multiple phones, so I will put my SIM card in my phone and it will activate right away. And for my iPhone, I would just activate it through my settings, which was a much easier process than my last carrier. And all of Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. Mint will also show you how much data you use each month and recommend plans that save you money. And Mint also offers a modern family plan that lets you set up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. And now, as a special limited time offer, you can get their unlimited plan, which is normally only $30 a month, for only $15 a month. And that's 50% savings off their already low price. It only takes 15 minutes to pay as low as $15 a month for your phone plan, and it pretty much is that simple. You can use my link to get started, or click the link in the description, or scan my QR code, and this really does help out my channel. All across the US, the average American is spending $114 a month for their phone plan, so stop paying more than you need to on your wireless bill and start saving big with Mint Mobile. And if you've already switched, let me know down in the comments. Now, whenever I'm comparing the S23 Ultra to many phones on the market, it's really great to say that I only have a few problems with it, but I do think that the first problem can be a make or break decision based on how you live your life, and that's the social media optimization. Now, I say how you live your life is very important with this specific problem because at the end of the day, we all have different priorities and lifestyles. Like if you're someone who doesn't really care for social media, you don't create content with your phone, or you just don't use it at all, then this is the least of your concerns. But for the people who use social media, post frequently, and want the best quality possible, this problem can be a make or break. See, every single social media app besides Snapchat is specifically designed for the iPhone's camera. With the iPhone, you can go to Instagram, open up the camera, and the quality will have little to no changes. But if you own anything other than an iPhone, if you go to Instagram and decide to use its camera, you basically will get a worse version of the picture or video that you took. And there are more examples of social media app developers prioritizing iPhone over their competitors. The fact that emojis on Android phones look out of place on the app, the fact that certain features aren't available on the S23 Ultra, and the fact that the resolution and text look worse on certain apps. And maybe you are someone who doesn't really care. You use social media and don't really have any problems with the fact that the S23 Ultra isn't prioritized, and that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up because this problem can be important to some people and not so much for others. Now, the next problem is also a problem that is very subjective, and that's Android Auto. Now, Android Auto is the software operating system for cars that support it, meaning that you can do anything from use your car's screen as a GPS, talk and voice text people, and even occasionally play video games. And this is an amazing idea, but I'm not gonna lie, I still think that Android Auto needs a major update for the whole Samsung Galaxy lineup. And I say major update mainly for aesthetic and functional purposes. It would be nice if Android Auto supported more Samsung apps so it can give a more immersive experience. It would also be nice to have better updated customizations within the software. It would be nice to have a more functional multitasking feature. And it would just be better to have nicer looking apps, including a Google Maps app that looks worse than Apple CarPlay, despite Android being a product of Google. And these were some things that annoy me, but like I said before, it has gotten better and has allowed me to do much more than what I explained in my video right here. And now the last problem that I encountered with the Galaxy S23 Ultra is something that really isn't as subjective as the others, and that's the annoying shutter lag. Now, I have addressed this problem in previous videos, and many of you guys have commented that I should use Good Lock to fix this, which is great advice and I really appreciate it. But personally, I like using the original One UI and Android 13. And I've always been that type of person. On my Pixel 7 Pro, I've only used stock Android, and I've only jailbroken my iPhone one time in 9th grade. So that wasn't much of an option for someone like me who uses stock versions of software. And now shutter lag on Galaxies have been a problem for many years now. Many have been upset with it, and many have moved on since they've gotten sick of complaining. But personally, I think it has gotten so much better over the years, which is great. But at the end of the day, the Pixel 7 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max are just much sharper and faster. And this can be a major problem for someone who has kids, a pet, or you often take pictures of things in motion because there will be times where you miss the intended shot. And again, it has gotten better, but I want to see it just as fast as a competitor since it's one of the most expensive phones out there. So now that we've gone over the problems that I've encountered during my 6 months of using the S23 Ultra, let's talk about some of the positives. And I would say that on a grand scale, the main positive that I've experienced is the software. Now, whenever I'm using the display, the whole experience has been extremely smooth. Apps fit into the 6.8-inch display nicely without looking blown up. Everything ranging from social media, games, and even scrolling through the OS felt really good. Reaching all the way to the top can be a pain, but the software allows you to swipe down anywhere, which is convenient. And there's an endless amount of features to go through when you swipe down even more. And it has a great thickness to it, which gives it a premium feel that feels really great in the hand. And the 120Hz refresh rate added to the experience by making it even sleeker. The S Pen was also well integrated within the software. I found myself using it less and less as time goes on, but it's always nice to flex this feature whenever my homies talk trash about their phones being better than mine. Multitasking was very easy to use, and I had the most options out of any Android phone. I didn't get any hiccups or lags with it, and the text within well-optimized apps looked very sharp. Battery life was not only much better than I expected, but I would go as far as to say it's arguably the best that I've ever used. It's basically pretty much tied with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I used many social media apps and watched a lot of YouTube on my main screen, and I was able to last for most of the day. On the average day, I was getting 5 to 7 hours of battery life, and would end my days with about 20 to 30% on average. Some days my phone will be higher, but it wasn't the norm. I didn't cut any corners. I had 5G on the whole time. I rarely use power saving mode, and my brightness was on medium to high throughout the whole day. And I also use my phone in light mode during the day and night mode at night. So you can get better results if you take those extra steps to get better battery life. And now moving on to camera, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is arguably the best camera when it comes to everything but selfies. It's also a beast on the spec sheet. 200 megapixel main camera with a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Selfies weren't the best one compared to the Pixel 7 Pro, but they are still very good. Again, the skin lightening issue is there, but overall, as you can see, it truly never took bad selfies and was overall pretty decent. The outside photos were pretty much great as well. The vibrancy was something that truly stood out to me. Grass and other aspects of nature looked very nice, and the lighting was very well balanced. Inside photos were as good as the lighting allowed them to be, but if you can get natural light, it'll give you the same quality as the really good outside photos. Night photos are easily the best. The software lightened up the photo, and it was insanely sharp. Also, the occasional moon pic doesn't hurt. And now looking at videos, the S23 Ultra is able to shoot up to 8K at 60 frames per second, and I was impressed all the way through. The colors were very sharp, there wasn't any loudness in the background, and the stabilization was very good. Pretty much on par with any other top tier phone out there. And also, here's some more videos that I got with my Galaxy S23 Ultra. And alright you guys, that's it for my review on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. And I feel like for months now, I've been regurgitating the fact that it's the best phone on the market. And it's consistently surprising me with how well it performs. And a lot of people ask me what phone I use on the daily. And more than likely, till the end of the new cycle of phones, I'm going to be using the S23 Ultra. And let me know down in the comments, do you think that the Pixel 8 Pro or the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be able to compete with the S23 Ultra? Let me know. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.